How are you feeling about 50-year-olds rapping in hip hop now? Like, I'm not. This is a genuine question because Nas, even in like God Sort of Mouth / Chandeliers, he's also rapping on that too, which is a rap song with
three
50-year-olds. And how old is Pharrell?
Oh my gosh, produced by 50-year-old.
Pharrell is 52, so that's a song with 4 50-year-olds making hip hop.
Yeah,
which is bizarre to think about.
That's a lot to handle. Good afternoon, beautiful people. This is another episode of Album Mode. We review a new album every single week. We look at the lyrics, the production, the overall aesthetic of the album, and how that album fits into the context of that artist's career. You two people, thank you for joining us. Like this video, subscribe, and of course, leave us a comment. Let us know how wrong we always are. My name is Adriel Smiley, a.k.a. AdrielSmiley.com, a.k.a. Adriel Smiley Official, a.k.a. The Godfather, a.k.a. Champion Scribe. We're here with His Royal Highness, a.k.a. No Longer a Munch, a.k.a. The Bunny, a.k.a. Green Goblin King Grant.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Album Mode. This time, we're back with Clipse. Pusha T, Malice, formerly No Malice, have combined again after years of dormancy. They have let out their latest album, Let God Sort Them Out. I want to say at the very top, Cause album cover. It looks cool.
Yes.
They've combined again for this latest album, something that it feels like hip-hop Twitter, hip-hop TikTok, hip-hop heads, hip-hop Reddit, every corner of the hip-hop world that is not the mainstream has just been rubbing their hands together in anticipation to see what is really coming out when they drop this album. And I was one of those people, believe it or not.
Believe it.
Noted Pusha T skeptic. I was here waiting because Pusha T, my feelings on Pusha T have been known. I talk about Pusha T a lot because I talk about it when I talk about Amine. But Malice is a person that has escaped my lips. I've never really spoken about him. So I was curious as to what is going to actually happen when they combine again. Because we all know when they were together, you can get a song like Grindin'. That's a classic, certified hood classic.
Yeah.
Genuinely. So I'm like, okay, what happens now, years into the future? We've changed names. We've changed personas. We've combined with people like Kanye West, and then we've left people like Kanye West, and now we're working with Pharrell again. What does it mean? What does this mean? And what's going to happen? That's what I was looking forward to when it came to this.
This is such an interesting album for me to review personally because I feel like a hip-hop historian in this project.
Okay.
Because I see so many people talking about this album who clearly don't have the context of this group. This is their first album since 2009 till The Casket drops. And I realized a lot of people didn't even know about that album, which is kind of crazy to me because that's like the song I think of the Clipse is from that album. I don't think of Grindin'. I think of kind of like a Big Deal with Kanye West.
Yeah, okay.
That's the song I think of when I think of Clipse. And this was in the LimeWire days. Like everyone knows this was one of the hottest of those. But this album, I think, why it's so exciting for it to actually be here. And again, we're recording this on Friday. The day this album's been out for 20 hours so far. So it just came out. Is this really happening? That was where we were at, where there's a bunch of things that were kind of teasing us.
Yeah.
You know, there was Use This Gospel with Kanye West. There was I Pray For You on Pusha T's album, which is one of my favorite songs from that project. We're going to talk about that in a bit. But everyone was wondering, is the album really actually going to happen? We see these times when Malice comes out, does a verse here or there. We're excited for it. But is it here to stay?
He goes back in the cave.
And I think in late 2024, the rumors really ramped up. And I was like, okay, maybe. Because there was these new songs being premiered at Pharrell's fashion show. And so we're like, okay, this is a new song. So that must mean there's other new songs. So even though this is like one of hip hop's most, greatest groups coming back together, which almost never happens once they break up, they stay broken up. It actually happening feels like it's almost too good to be true. So I was very excited for this project. I want us to go back in time a little bit to our Pusha T review.
Okay.
Now, you said you were a skeptic, okay? We reviewed It's Almost Dry in April of 2022. Do you remember the score that you gave that project?
A 5, I think. Maybe even a 4.
Wrong again. You gave it a 7.5.
What is... Yo, I'm... Okay.
I love going back in time because I think it's not just us. It's kind of like how we think of music.
Mm-hmm.
Is you kind of have an idea about an album.
Yeah.
Whether you remember what songs are on it, you're just like, I don't remember liking that project. So I just remember not liking it. But then when it comes time, you go, oh, I guess I did like a bunch of those songs.
Yeah, I think it's because my overall sentiment on Pusha T is kind of clouding how I view his albums on an individual basis.
You think you need to switch it up?
Right. No, it's more of like, I like Pusha T's albums on an individual basis.
Mm-hmm.
Daytona, I think it's good. Everybody thinks it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Right? And then the latest one, what was it? The Something's Always Dry.
It's Almost Dry.
It's Almost Dry, sorry. I liked it. Everybody thought it was the best thing since a baguette. Okay? So my criticisms of Pusha T have always been he raps about the same thing every time. But everybody else praise of Pusha T is he makes me feel like I'm pushing coke with him every time. So it's a two sides of one coin situation where people have bought into an aspect where I have sold.
I think that's something that maybe with him, it's more prevalent in your mind.
Right.
Because I think you do like a lot of rappers who do rap about the same thing over and over again. So I think this with him, and that's part of kind of his charm is that he is so kind of distinct in how he talks about things that you can't somehow miss it. It's not like I don't know what he talks about. No, I'm well aware. So I think that's part of what it is for you because one of your favorite rappers, Playboi Carti, is a victim of this exact same thing. And I feel like because how Playboi Carti raps, it's not as noticeable.
Right, I agree.
So I think there's a bit of that there. This Rollout got so much love on the internet. I couldn't believe it. Everyone now is an A&R. Like the internet A&Rs are coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah, they're like, this is the greatest Rollout since literally, I don't know, like Tyler the Creator's like when it came to Chromacopia or even before Chromacopia, you know what I mean?
Even the term Rollout becoming mainstream makes me cringe.
Why are we talking about the Rollout? What the fuck? Why are we talking about that?
And I thought it was interesting because I had a tweet yesterday about, nothing is more hip hop than Justin Bieber stepping on your Rollout without a moment's notice. So I thought that was amazing. But part of the Rollout was a bunch of beef.
Yeah.
Now, of course, he is the original Drake hater. Really, really hated that man. And he had some comments about Travis Scott. Those were the first comments that came out. Now, there was a rumor that Travis Scott was going to drop the Jack Boys album on the same day.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
He should have, though.
He really should have.
We might have done a 3-peat review.
It would have been. It would have been.
Yeah, it would have been a 3-peat.
He didn't actually do that. So
it's coming out later this week.
Allegedly.
You don't believe it?
Allegedly. So there was that and him kind of saying how he doesn't mess with Travis Scott. What do you think about those comments? Because we haven't talked about those comments basically at all.
Yeah.
I thought that was so interesting because it's probably the most a rapper has like actually talked about why they don't like someone. Like
in regards to Travis Scott.
In regards to anybody, like rappers make comments, they might talk a little bit of shit, they have a couple of bars for each other. But Pusha T was in full interviews explaining in detail why he doesn't like him. That basically never happens.
Yeah, I think that's something that can be appreciated with Pusha T, even in his music. His speech of things is so elaborate that that's what is a drawing point for him. So even when he dislikes a person, Drake, Kanye, Travis Scott, it is literally down to the way that they dress, the way that they speak. Like he's said about Kanye West particularly, he's like, he's not enough of a man to even speak to me. You know what I mean? Like
Real vitriol.
right, you know what I mean? Like he is so elaborate in the destruction or an analysis of things that it's so enraptures you. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe he actually said that all the way down to the thread of his clothes. Like, this is crazy.
It feels like disgust.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just, oh, I don't like him. It's no, like, he disgusts me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I can't believe that this person exists type of shit.
No, I actually thought it was so interesting because he was so tied to Kanye. Like, a lot of this new generation who are Clipse fans only know about Pusha T from Kanye West. Right. I always talk about that of like, who are the people who did not know who Pusha T was before Kanye West? That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
They maybe have heard Grindin', but could they have known that that was Pusha T on that song? Maybe,
I don't think so.
Maybe not. So, seeing these people who, again, only know who he is through Kanye, and now he's here shitting on Kanye with his whole chest, that is something I don't think we've seen in hip-hop on this scale. I think it's so different because there's not really a beef. He is talking about the character of these men. So I think in terms of a rollout, leading with character of I'm of a certain character. My morals are here.
Yeah.
These guys don't have the morals I have. And that is like never been the rollout of an album ever. Especially an album with this kind of content of the rollout being like, I'm a high character man. Like, this is high character man music. Comments, let me know. Have you seen that before? I can't remember that. So that's what I love about this rollout is like, of course, I love the performances. They were on Colors, the video for, Sorted Out, or So Be It. Mm-hmm. I think all that was cool, but the message of this group is what stands out more to me.
Yeah, it's very unique, especially considering how much Clipse in general, but Pusha T in particular, lean into the drug dealer and drug aesthetic. Mm-hmm. Sorry. To be like, these people are harmless. They're harmless or shameless or not a real man. I'm a real man, the man who sells drugs consistently. And that's all I make music about. Is just like a very weird dichotomy to approach. Like the drug dealer is somehow more honorable, more morally withstanding than anybody else that he encounters is bizarre. But I would say that the rollout was working. Like people were engaged. People were talking about it 24/7. People are so engaged with the promotion. They're like, the promotion is incredible.
And that never happens. Like people don't always talk about the promotion as if it's a product itself.
Yeah.
And I think this is from an era where there's this quote from maybe 15 years ago now where they said hip hop used to be the drug dealer music instead of the drug user music. Yep. And let's juxtapose him with Playboi Carti.
Yep.
The drug user.
Yeah.
Pusha T is the drug dealer.
Right.
And I think there is almost more respect for that, especially in hip hop, of like you're at least not strung out. You're damaging your whole community, but you're not strung out yourself. Right. So, there's something there. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of agree with them.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's very odd. Both are not great people. But one is actually still providing for their family. And keeping everyone intact.
Okay.
I think talking about this project is the production.
Okay. The production is, I would say, probably one of the stronger aspects. I think that Pharrell, who is, I believe, like the lead producer on this project, he has gotten to a point where he can. First of all, Pharrell, genuinely one of the best producers in the history of music. Like he is actually, his range is actually bizarre when you really think about it. But his ability to capture Clipse and Pusha T, like particularly in this dreary, dark, menacing, which is the most important part, the menacing aspect, And to have that going for about, I think it's 13 songs is pretty incredible. A song like, what was I listening to? A song like So Be It, where it's got like, these Asian influences on the production, where it's like, I don't know, it's almost unsettling, and then the beat is like basically being played backwards. So like the entire song is unsettling and allowing for Malice and Pusha T to step in and be like the centralized figures and really make it so that what they're rapping about is the thing that stands out the most. Is awesome. But that off-kilter, menacing element, like Ace Trumpets, is a perfect example of that, where it's like ominous. You got those voices in the background. Again, we have the Asian strings, but this is more East Asian. The other song that I mentioned was South Asian. So, but again, it's dark, menacing, like we're creeping through the darkness. I think it's great. I think the production is probably the star of the album, to be honest. Even though that we're not, usually when we say that, we're thinking big, expansive, or experimental. Didn't really feel experimental, but it definitely felt intricate in a way where it's like, this is a specific idea we're going for, and the execution of it is super high.
I think POV is another one of those where the production just fits the music. Like fits the actual rapping. Like and this is one where we talk about when artists have a whole album with one producer and why those usually go well. This is like their King's disease, in a sense where it's like he's tailoring these to them. Like this is for the two of them. So POV to me is one where it's like probably the hardest a beat can sound with still being like a little bit muted.
Right.
But it's still super, super hard. Before we even go any further, because again, in the comments, I want to know what your favorite feature on this is. Please let us know in the comments. But who do you think is the better rapper of the two? Between Pusha T and Malice? I think it's Malice, and I've always thought that.
That's a hot take.
Why I brought that up is because when the Clipse were around the first time, Malice was seen as a better rapper, at least from what I remember. If I was wrong, comments let me know. But I remember Malice being the better rapper and that being like common knowledge, almost like Andre the Big Boy.
Okay.
And Pusha T just became the more famous one in lieu of Malice not being there. So now everyone looking at Pusha T as like the guy and kind of learning Malice again, I think it's interesting because Malice is like kind of the originator and Pusha T is the remix.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to say Malice as well. And I thought that was going to be controversial until you said what you just said, because a great example of this is on Ace Trumpets. Like usually, we reviewed the Justin Bieber album. We didn't really talk about the lyrics just because there's first of all, there's like 20 fucking songs on that album.
Yeah.
But when it comes to let God sort them out, the rapping is so prominent in the music. Like I feel like the enunciation super hot, like it's super clear. Every time that they're rapping in a specific way, like the pronunciation of the words or emphasis of the words, like it's really pronounced. So that I can actually, when I listen to music, me personally, when I listen to music, I listen to the overall composition of the song, right? So I'm listening for mostly the production, and then I'm like, how does the person sound on it versus the actual lyrics, what they're actually saying. But when it comes to this album, when I was listening to it, the lyrics were jumping out to me immediately. So on Ace Trumpets, where Malice is basically in this part where he says, drugs killed my teen spirit. Welcome to Nirvana. You was Fuji Lala. I was Alibaba. Dressed in a house of Gucci, made from some Lady Gaga. Hakuna Matata Island wearing tie-dye. Umbrella in my rolls match the one that's in this Mai Tai. Listen, you are not I. Cross T's, dot I's. I done disappeared and reappeared without a viola. Right? So I think that his enunciation and like these plays on letters, the plays on words where Lady Gaga being like white, cocaine. I like the idea of like I done disappear to reappear without a viola. I think that's a cool concept. Drugs killed my teen spirit. Welcome to Nirvana. That's a great like wordplay of like Kurt Cobain. Smells like Teen Spirit. The drug aspect, Kurt Cobain, the way he died, Nirvana. Like that's just in one bar. You know what I mean? So this to me is like exceptional rapping, and that's only half of his verse on that song. So that's what I'm really getting to, where I'm like, I think Malice, because he's able to reach in so many other different directions, whereas I feel like Pusha T is very concentrated on a specific thing. I have to give it to Malice, to be honest.
And I think what really stands out from this album, and they've always had this in their music, I think, again, 2009 till now. So a lot of people have no kind of recollection of past Clipse albums. So they've always had this kind of duality in their music of telling one side of the streets, but also telling the other side of kind of the more human part. There's more human parts on this project than they've ever had before. They've had it before, but this is the most they've had. And I think that's what I know Malice brings to this project than a regular Pusha T project. He definitely brings that human side of talking about his life, his morality, but still saying, y'all are not like me. You're cut from a different cloth. Now, I have this section that's not even from this project, but it's Malice, and I just wanted to bring it up because this is kind of like who he is as a rapper in a nutshell to me, at least in this era of Malice, the past 3-4 years. He says, 3 record deals showed me ignorance was bliss. Trying to milk a game that is only 2%. X told you hell is hot. I told you repent. Faith never wavered as I walked along the fence. Faith moved mountains, so what are you up against? Like, he's saying it as if he's talking about drugs, but there are real life bars in there. You know, him saying, X told you hell is hot, I told you repent. And so he's always had that. That's just part of what this, I think, album has, that a Pusha T album on its own would never. But to me, I'm really interested in how this album is going to age. In terms of listeners who are new to them as a whole, because this is not a Pusha T album. To me, it feels a little similar to It's Almost Dry.
Okay.
There are some similarities there, but especially in the content, like that first song and the last one, but the first song when they talk about their parents and Malice getting the kind of go ahead to like get back into rapping, it's like the whole, I guess, coke rap persona that they both have. It's like that's past overblown at this point. Like Pusha T, I thought it was overblown for a long time. He kind of just leans into it at certain points. But for Clipse as a group, I don't think that really is accurate to them. They have these great lines where you're like, I love the way you just mentioned those drugs. Like, you know, they have those sections, but there are so much parts about their actual lives in here that it's like, there are so many rappers that we listen to who don't have this at all and don't talk about coke either.
Yeah.
You know, so it's true. Like, we don't know what you're talking about in any part of the song. So I thought it interesting because these guys are the elder statesmen of hip hop, basically the oldest like group still doing it that I could think of. Like, what other group are still together, still doing it?
Oh, group.
Yeah, at this age. That and in general, like I think Malice is 50, Pusha T is 48.
Yeah, I think Nas might be younger than them, actually.
No, Nas is 53, I think. So Nas is older. But I'm just saying in terms of a group.
Yeah, the group, no.
On this level. And as well, I think like there's a maturity in their raps that's different from someone like Nas, because they're not in the mix as much. Nas is like, again, he's not in the mix like some of the younger guys. He's still Nas.
Yeah.
But these guys are both, you know, family men. We haven't seen either of them this much other than this rollout, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like this is my rap life while I'm putting this album out. And then there's my real life, which I really like to hear from both of these guys.
Yeah, one thing that I wanted to talk about when it came to Let Gord Sort Him Out and just hip hop in general, how are you feeling about 50-year-olds rapping in hip hop now? Like, this is a genuine question, because Nas, even in Let God Sort Him Out / Chandeliers, he's also rapping on that too, which is a rap song with
3 50-year-olds?
Three 50-year-olds. And how old is Pharrell?
Oh my gosh. Produced by 50-year-old?
Pharrell is 52. So that's a song with 4 50-year-olds making hip hop,
Yeah.
which is bizarre to think about.
That's a lot to handle.
That's
Yeah.
bizarre to think about, but there's no denying that the song was good, right? And then we're saying like the lyrical ability is off the charts. This, producer is literally one of the best producers ever.
Still.
The songs are well produced. So are we in a space now where this is allowed? Because genuinely, in the past, this was not allowed. You could not be like over 35 and being like dropping music and people are like, I want to hear the, latest LL Cool J at age 50 or, you know what I mean?
I think there's two things that are factors in this being as successful as it is. And I'm talking about just the reception. Again, it's only been out for a day.
Yeah.
So it may not sell a bunch of copies. But I think in terms of Clipse, Pusha T, and Malice is they don't look old.
Okay.
I think that's like a part of it is the look they have. Like they're still wearing big chains. They're wearing like, the best designer close with Pharrell and Louis. So that's a part of it where it's like they're dressed better than the 25-year-olds. And that's a big part of it as well. And I think that they're in their own lane and still known for rap. I think a lot of times if you leave rap and know for something else, going back to it, it doesn't work the same. And maybe that's just a rap thing because I feel like that's more rappers are the ones leaving rap to do acting or other things. Yeah. But I think as someone like Joe Budden put an album out now.
That's going quadruple wood.
We're looking at him crazy. Will Smith and his album.
Yeah, we're looking at him super crazy.
If LL Cool J put out an album a few months ago as well, we didn't review. We didn't review it at all.
Okay.
So it's like I think in hip hop there's these unwritten rules of like if you leave for good. We don't accept you coming back. But I do think this is maybe the beginning of a renaissance of the older rapper because hip hop is the only genre where people have not aged gracefully and been accepted by the fans. Yeah,
this is one thing I've been thinking about because hip hop turned 50. So hip hop itself just turned 50.
Yeah.
Right? Like a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yep.
So, and also with hip hop, it's primarily made by Black people. And that never got taken away. Like it never got pulled away, no matter how fucking hard they fucking tried to do that.
Yep.
It never got pulled away. So there was never a normalization in the way that people age in the genre because there's so many factors where it's like because of hip hop's nature of being like a rebellious genre, being a 55-year-old man and making rebellious music just seems odd.
Yeah, it doesn't add up.
Right? And then there's also the element of like there's a gun violence element to hip hop. Gang violence is part of hip hop's history. So people just genuinely died early.
Yeah.
People like X, Pop Smoke, people like 50 Cent was shot like 8-9 times. Right? That's normal.
Yeah.
Like it's not normal in real life, but
in hip hop
to be shot 9 times and survive, and I'm like, this is part of the promo of my next album.
Yeah,
that's normal, right? Going to jail and being locked up for X amount of years, that's normal. So there's never been an instance in hip hop where somebody we liked at the beginning when they were like 25, we have been able to continuously watch them till 55 and be like, I'm still rocking with whatever they're doing. And also the subject matter of what people rap about, that is kind of hard to carry. Even Pusha T, the idea that he's able to carry this coke dealer persona into 10 years from being a senior.
Crazy.
Is insane. Like I really, really need to take that in. So I think there's a lot of factors working against hip hop, whereas a genre, and also the people that are making the music Black, right? So there is also this element of being normalized as an artist, continuously making art throughout your entire life in a rebellious sphere where there's gun violence, all these things are stacked on top of each other, and you being quote unquote allowed to do that and still be popular is hard to conceptualize. Like, we have had black artists in pop, but you're allowed to be Cher. You're allowed to be, Whitney. You're allowed to be even Beyonce. Beyonce is getting older now. You're just allowed to be that because you can just be a new evolution, a new version. But that doesn't really exist in hip hop.
And I think it's funny because I said this maybe 5 months ago now. I think Drake is living what we're talking about in real time, approaching 40, is that I think about a band like the Grateful Dead. Most of their fans are older than us.
Yeah.
That's like when they do big shows.
Yeah, it's all 60, 50-year-olds.
The whole crowd is older than us.
Yeah.
Hip hop does the same thing. I think it's just hip hop has always been dominated by the youth, that the big groups of the past, big acts of the past, lose the youth completely. And that's a super frowned upon in hip hop of like, oh, that's old head music. That's old people stuff. And I think in reality, when Lauryn Hill is going on tour, who do you think's singing Lauryn Hill? Like,
that's so true.
It's true. When Wu-Tang is going on tour, who's singing Wu-Tang?
Right.
There probably is one 19-year-old in the crowd, but it's mostly the people who are the same age as the artists. So I think it's mostly kind of our age group who doesn't let hip hop age because we frown upon what the elders are doing, what seems old.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that is where maybe this will change, because this is an album that like all ages of hip hop I've been excited for.
Yeah.
So maybe this is like the beginning of the change, because in reality, I think that if you want to like do a composite of like hip hop and like break it into age groups, the best music is coming from the older groups.
Ooh,
like it's the truth.
It's
like
fortune.
It's truth. Like the blog era group, they're all over 35 at this point.
Yeah.
And they're still also making good music. The era, most of them, the era before them, is in their 40s and 50s. There's still a lot of good music coming from that era.
Okay.
So it's like the idea of old means like bad or washed. That's a very much hip hop thing, and I think that's being proven wrong kind of every single week as something new comes out.
Yeah, one of the best examples of this was Nas when he was doing King's Disease.
Yeah. Where
he did a trilogy, and we're like, this is the best his music has sounded since Stillmatic, which was like the beginning,
Even Common and Pete Rock, last year we talked about them getting nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah.
Common and Pete Rock, when you see those two names, that's for a certain age group completely. Like that goes without saying. But that album was really good.
Yeah.
And so to think that these guys still have their fastball at that age, because in other genres, people lose their voices, they can't move as well.
Yeah.
These acts are still doing it big at that age. So I hope this is a change that. You're right, 4 50-year-olds on one record. But
the thing is, nobody even looks at it. Nobody has. I'm bringing that up. I've not heard a single person even mention that.
No one has mentioned that. And on top of it, what I really do think is that it's seeming old, because I think Pusha T, hearing that him and Malice are 50 or approaching 50 is breaking someone's brain right now. I don't think when you see Pusha T, you think 50. And it goes to how young hip hop is, because when you're young, everything seems so old. When you're 17, someone who's 25 seems so old to you.
Ancient.
Right? So I think that's a part of it where who feels old, who seems old, like Jim Jones with a gray beard looks much older than Pusha T.
Yeah.
So I think
facts.
I think it's the image as well of like who actually seems like an old head in terms of how they dress, how they move. But I listen, I think you brought up a great point. I'm very excited to see how this goes going forward, because I said it before, the blog era of hip hop is approaching their 40s. J. Cole turned 40 last year. A bunch of them approaching their 40s. So a lot of our favorite rappers from our childhood are going to be 40 very soon.
Yeah, that's
and
so true.
Knowing that your favorite rapper is 40, how are we going to be able to stomach that? Like, is that going to be something that we can, deal with?
This is funny, and I want to move off of this soon because I feel like we've been talking about it for a while. I think it's a great topic, actually, just in general. But one thing that I wanted to mention was somebody like Drake actually, genuinely, should have been somebody perfectly positioned for this transition because at the beginning of his run or the beginning of his career, his music was about emotions.
Yeah.
It wasn't bling rap. It wasn't, it wasn't very showy. It was about sadness. It was about women, relationships, and stuff like that. But he devolved, essentially, where it's becoming murkier for him to see him in the 40s and 50s making music. It's just, I don't know, it's just something that I wanted to point out. Whereas somebody like Kendrick Lamar, I feel like he has somehow snaked his way into where we're still drawn in because he's talking about like his sex addiction, and his tribulations with his uncle's gender identity. Right? So there is
different age group.
Yeah.
Different age group. Drake is still with the youngins.
Yeah.
Kendrick is with an older crowd.
Yeah.
I want to talk about what this means for their career.
Oh, I was going to ask you what was your favorite song. I feel like we didn't talk about the songs.
My favorite song?
Yeah, I feel like we didn't talk about the song. We were talking about the meta narrative more than the actual.
My favorite song is probably POV.
POV, wow.
Yeah, I love Tyler the Creator's part.
Let's go a little bit more into the album, just a little bit.
Yeah, I love Tyler the Creator's verse on here. He's, of course, everyone heard he's the biggest Clipster, so I'm happy that he actually got on there. And then, honestly, man, like, I'm so happy to have Malice back. Like, I was one of those people, I'm telling you, every time Malice showed up on a record, that record would be on repeat. Like, Use This Gospel was one song I was playing from that album.
Yeah.
I Pray For You off of Pusha T's album, the one song I was playing. I had like almost a Malice Google alerts like in my brain. So to have him back on here just feels like absolutely amazing. But POV, why that song kind of makes so much sense to me is like, it's very like not hype, but there's still energy in it.
Right.
And that's a very Clipse thing to have of like, no, we don't need you to like jump up and down and rage to this. But the song has energy in it. And then MTB TTF, Mike Tyson Blow to the Face. That's a double entendre within itself. But that song was one where I was like, Pusha T in his past albums has had all these acronyms. I don't love all the acronyms.
What does EBITDA mean? What does that mean?
No idea.
Am I too broke to understand what that means? Do I need to get to a specific dollar amount? I would love to know that. Because you know why I want to know that? Because that's my favorite fucking song, right?
Well, you got to know.
I've done some Googling. on the acronym, but I'm like, is he really making an allusion to an interest-free banking account? Or
no, that's a drug reference.
I don't. Somebody explain it to me.
Earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Drug money.
Okay, sure.
That's drug money right there.
Sure. But I love that song. I think the hook, like the chorus is really good. And I feel like Pusha T is not a huge hook person. But I think that the chorus is really good.
This is your favorite song?
Yeah. And it also has got some pace to it, Like I think that it's different. It's different from
I love the pace on here.
Yeah.
One thing I have on my notes, since we're talking about the actual music more now, is I don't like Pharrell singing at all on this project.
Yeah, I think it's pretty bad.
Every time Pharrell sings, I'm like,
put it away, bro.
And I have the problem with Pharrell singing in general because Pharrell's like solo mixtape and his first solo album.
Yeah.
Two great projects for those who are not familiar with Pharrell's catalog.
He was good on Get Lucky with Daft Punk too, so it can work.
Yeah, no, he definitely has tones that work. This tone on here,
no,
and maybe he's just at the age where he doesn't have that falsetto anymore.
Yeah, facts. That's probably true.
Might be what it is, but I didn't like his singing, so that's why EBITDA wasn't one for me because anytime that Pharrell's singing, I'm even So Far Ahead. And then with The Dream, All Things Considered.
Yeah.
Those songs are like good, but like a notch below just for Pharrell singing. The one song that I was very surprised by, FICO.
Oh, FICO.
I read it as FICO, but
okay.
That beat I really liked.
Yeah.
That beat is kind of like almost like what you hear in your head when you think like Pusha T and Malice. But Stove God Cooks, cooking.
Yeah, Stove God Cooks. Stove God Cooks, happy for him. He's in his realm. He's in his space. It's kind of like the elders really pulling in somebody that they really see that is on the same wavelength as them. And I think that song works out very well as well. Again, yeah, the production is very like, this is the textbook Clipse, Pusha T style of production. Again, that ominous emptiness that's going on. For some reason, whenever I listen to their music, it's always like black, like a darkness, black and white, black and gray. It's always like that. But yeah, EBITDA, it was one of those songs that actually shifts from that blackness, and there was more. There's just more movement. I feel like their music.
It's warmer.
Yeah, I feel like Clipse's music in general lacks movement. It's just very empty, skeletal. Cold. Yeah, exactly.
You know how in Power, it's never the summertime and it's always like late November?
Yes.
That's what the Clipse music sounds like.
Right? And this is one of those songs where it's like, spring?
Yes.
You know, like a little spring.
Is that a flower?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So that's why I like that song a lot. Do you have a favorite? Well, you told me your favorite feature was Tyler, the Creator. I think my favorite feature is also Kendrick Lamar, low key. That was one of those times where I checked my phone, but I was like, wait, hold on a second. Kendrick Lamar's on this? And I was like, oh, this is Kendrick Lamar.
You know what's crazy? I don't like that song.
Wow.
And you know what's so funny? That song released last week, I think, with JID and Eminem. And I tried to listen to it. Keyword tried.
Too lyrical for you?
And this is like Pusha T and Kendrick's version of that, like where it's just trying to give you some bars.
Yeah.
But this is a song where I'm like, what replay value does this have? Like, when are you gonna throw this on?
Okay.
You know, like I love that Kendrick's rapping, like, but this is the kind of song from them that I'm like, this is almost for the reaction on the timeline. Does that make any sense?
Yes,
like,
I do. I understand.
Because it's like, when are you gonna run that back of all the songs on here?
Right.
It's almost has like, it's almost lacks rhythm, you know, for you to really bob your head to. So that's one of the songs on here that I was like, I understand why you did it. You gotta sell some records. You gotta sell some records.
Yeah, we gotta put the superstar on it. They have that connect though. So yeah, I did like the Kendrick Lamar verse though. I did think it was good.
Well, they've worked together before, Pusha T and Kendrick. So
Drug Dealers Anonymous.
That's Jay-Z.
Oh shit.
Nostalgia.
There you go.
But I just think like this could have been a better song. Like, to me, I think the Kendrick song should have been more of an actual song.
Okay.
I don't like having Kendrick and going the like rappy route. That feels like a waste of Kendrick. He's more than that.
Okay.
You know.
All right. So what does this mean for the Clipse career overall?
I hope there's more. I just hope this leads to more, and this like being something that actually matters. Like, if this is just a one-off, I still like the album. But I think for me, and this is maybe just a me thing, I think Malice as a rapper being back in the zeitgeist is important to hip hop. There's not another rapper like that. Who's like, you think Pusha T has the Coke bars, who do you get them from? Like, that's who we got them from.
Yeah.
And then to have him have this huge sense of morality that like he talks about in interviews, talks about in his music. We haven't seen like a Coke rapper be that far into Coke and then go as far into having the other side of him.
Yeah.
And then still not losing that edge in his music. Because we've seen rappers lose their edge where it's like, you're a little too nice now. Like, I think Big Sean is one of those where once he got a little more mentally healthy, his music lost a little bit of edge to it.
Yeah.
I think Malice as a rapper who is clearly in a better place, you know, mentally, and his music still has that edge. Like, can we think of someone who's really had that? Because I can't think of that. Even when Jay-Z, quote unquote, became more awakened, 444 is almost an edgeless album. It has some bops. I love it, but it's not an edge to it. So I think this is good for their careers, just having Malice back in this space, because to me, he's a very unique rapper just from his story and the way that he raps.
Yeah, I think for me, this is a big deal for geriatric hip hop, and I'm saying that
Jim Jones.
I'm saying that very endearingly, because this, to me, this album and Nas's albums and Nas appearing on this album is showing me that there is a path that they are cutting that only they can do, because again, it's due to their age. To be 50 something and releasing music that's important, that people want to listen to, that feels authentic, right? And it's not like a joke or anything like that. Like, this is legit, and we're old, hip hop old. We're old and making this, and people care still. So to me, that's important. And I think that, you know, I talked about it earlier, but I just want to say, like, that to me, for their career, it's more of like actually for hip hop to see that
As
this
a
is
whole, yeah.
still, this is an element that other genres have, that hip hop has eschewed for many different reasons that I illustrated earlier. Like, for example, Ozzy Osbourne has been playing music. He's 70 fucking years old. You know what I mean? But people are still showing up to the shows. Still, people still want to hear Ozzy Osbourne's music. All that shit. So I think it's important in that way. Is it a no skips?
It's not a no skips for
Okay.
me. It's not a no skips
Me
for
neither.
me. I think one more thing about kind of the age of these rappers is they have put out better music where the internet likes it and is getting some critical acclaim, some love. But none of these older rappers are really selling.
True.
I think Lil Wayne is probably like the one outlier in this.
Yeah.
You know, still doing big numbers, but we haven't seen any of these older rappers sell really well. You know, I would include Common in this. You know, Method Man, Black Thought. So that's, I think, the next frontier of what you're saying is seeing one of these geriatric rappers really do some big numbers. So we'll see. We'll see if that eventually happens. Is it no skips for you?
No. There's a couple of songs on the back end that I'm not a fan of. Inglorious Bastard, So Far Ahead. But there is a good string of songs for 8 songs where I'm in there. So I wouldn't say it's not terrible. Is it a vinyl cop? That is a real question. Because you want to talk about the vinyl. Do you want to talk about the cover as long as we're talking about the vinyl cop?
I like the cover a lot. I don't really understand it, but I like how it looks. But I don't really understand it. There's something about Cause that doesn't give Clipse.
Yeah.
But I like the cover, and the album is good. To me, this actually would be a vinyl cop just for its historical significance. I think this is probably one of the few albums we've ever reviewed where what it actually means historically is like enough to cop the vinyl itself. Because the return of this group is huge, like a huge, huge deal. And as well, like, again, we have not really seen this before. Like, a group split up, half the group become hugely successful as a solo artist, then the group come back together and have another big success. Like, we have not, the closest I would say is Outkast when Andre and Big Boy went on tour together, that run, but this is an actual project. Yeah. So I would cop the vinyl, yeah.
Okay, I think it's a vinyl cop as well. The cover is a big part of it, but the music is also excellent as well. So I'm big on that. I think Cause is like very 2010s, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like we've moved ahead of Cause a little bit, but this is just like the Swag album, where is somehow an artifact for a time that we are no longer a part of. Like, Cause is a 2010s type of artist, and somehow we're reviewing modern music that is referencing 2010s in a way that is weird to me.
Yeah, I'm looking at the vinyl now. Bless you.
Thank you.
Online, a few different versions of the cover. Very interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, this I think would be a vinyl cop.
Okay. The moment everybody's been waiting for. Adriel, what is your score for Let God Sort 'Em Out by Malice, No Malice, Pusha T, and produced by Pharrell?
For this Clipse album, Let God Sort 'Em Out, 7.5 for me.
Okay.
I think the highs on this album are very high, and the lows are like not so bad. I think this is an album content wise and lyrically that I just can't remember anything like this in hip hop. At least as long as we've been doing this podcast,
right?
So that just kind of like unique, I guess, defining thing about this album, as well as some amazing production. Like, there's some beats on here that I'm just like, I might start freestyling. Like, so yeah, to me it's a 7.5. I think as a full album though, it kind of suffers. Like there's some extra fat on here.
Okay.
That I think there's
13 songs, there's fat.
Yeah, there's a couple songs that I'm like,
Okay.
Whereas like, this could have been like a really, really higher score, but 7.5 is more than enough.
Okay. For me, Let God Sort 'Em Out by Clipse and Pharrell, basically. I'm going to say this is an 8.5 out of 10.
Wow.
I'm higher on a Pusha T album than you. Let it be known.
I feel like you were higher on the last one too, though.
But I think that this is a special album. I think the idea that multiple 50-year-olds can come together and put together a work of art that is as good as this, lyrically, production-wise, in hip-hop, is kind of unprecedented. Because even when it came to Nas's King's Disease, Hit Boy was producing it, and it was modernized in a way of the production is not really modernized on this album. This is not a trap album, at all. Like, not even close.
Yeah.
And nobody from that sphere of music is even on this. Kendrick Lamar tangentially, but not really, because his most recent music is West Coast. I think the production is fantastic. I think the lyrics are fantastic. We reference them, even though we said that we would not be referencing the lyrics.
Couldn't help ourselves.
So I think that it's phenomenal. There's only a couple of tracks that I'm not a fan of, just because I feel like the production didn't get lived up to compared to the rest of the tracks. Inglourious Basterds is one of them. So Far Ahead is another one of them. By the grace of God, to each their own. So I think it's really good in all the aspects that we require a good album to be. It's 8.5 for me.
What do you guys think? I want to know what the internet thinks about this project. There's obviously a group that's unfamiliar with this, but there's a group that is very familiar. So please let us know. Find us on the interwebs, and you can comment on Spotify now. So comment on Spotify. Let us know what you guys think. Find us on the interwebs. Album Mode Pod on Twitter. Album Mode Pod on TikTok. Album Mode Pod on Instagram. Of course, on YouTube. Like this video. Subscribe to us and leave us a comment. Let us know how wrong we always are. And until next time, know yourself, know your worth.
Later days.